pastor's salary is unique compared to other professions. Most boards, even if they're business people with their own employees, do not understand the complexity surrounding a ministerial remuneration package. Well, some of these unique factors include things like the church's nonprofit status. Many religious organizations, including churches, operate as a nonprofit entity. Pastors usually receive salaries from these organizations, and their compensation is structured differently with unique tax ramifications compared to for-profit jobs. In the United States, employers pay a portion of the employee's wages into the Social Security and Medicare programs. These contributions are typically split equally between the employers and the employees. However, even though a minister is an employee of the church, the IRS considers them self-employed, and as a result, most churches do not pay the employer portion of payroll taxes. In this case, pastors are expected to absorb all of those expenses, which reduces their take-home pay as well as their potential to save for retirement. Another unique factor is the unemployment insurance. Secular employers may be required to pay unemployment insurance taxes, which provide financial assistance to employees who lose their jobs. However, churches are exempt from this requirement, which means that employees are ineligible to collect unemployment benefits. Now, this requires pastors to build a more significant financial reserve than those employed by secular businesses. It also limits their ability to contribute to a retirement savings plan that compounds interest over time. Another unique factor is the retirement contribution issue. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics in March of 2021, 67% of private employers provided retirement benefits. However, most churches do not offer retirement benefits such as matching plans or monthly employer contributions. In these cases, pastors are expected to provide 100% of their own retirement contribution. Now, we believe it is in the church's best interest to mitigate these circumstances by providing a retirement benefit for their pastors. Most boards that understand the uniqueness of ministerial remuneration want to assist, but they just don't know how. So following are 10 options that your church has can assist in your pastor's retirement benefits, hopefully long before they need it. The first option is to adopt a 403B retirement plan for the pastor and the staff. Establishing a 403B retirement plan can be done without any cost to the church. Doing so provides a mechanism for the pastor and any other staff members to contribute to their own retirement fund on a pre-tax basis. Additionally, the availability of a retirement plan can be beneficial when the church is recruiting new staff. A retirement plan option should be provided when the church creates its very first salary package. Now, the team at Church Extension Plan can meet with your church board to facilitate a plan of adoption. The second option is to ensure the pastor takes advantage of their district or network's retirement contribution program. The network that I am associated with is the Rocky Mountain Ministry Network, and it currently contributes 10% of a minister's tithe to their retirement account. Well, if your district or network provides a retirement contribution to their ministers, make sure your pastor is taking advantage of this offer. This does not require the pastor to establish a second account if they already have a retirement account. It is a simple process of completing the necessary forms and notifying the network office. Another option is to make an annual fixed contribution to the pastor's retirement account. Now, if there is uncertainty about the consistency of income for the church, consider an annual contribution to the pastor's retirement fund at the end of the year. This can be structured as part of the retirement plan, and it allows for flexibility in the future. As the church grows and develops consistent patterns of giving, the board always has the option of changing this to a percentage of the pastor's salary in the future. A fourth option is to establish a pastoral retirement gift option for the congregation. The church could create a contribution account as part of the giving options that the congregation uses. This would allow members to give directly to the pastor's future retirement, and it can be forwarded to that pastor's retirement account by the church. So, we've talked about many options, but there's more. The fifth option is to add a matching contribution to the pastor's retirement account. So consider encouraging the pastor by offering a matching program. For instance, the plan can be designed with a matching contribution for a certain percentage, say 3% or 5%. Now, in this example, if the pastor took a voluntary 3% employee deduction from their payroll, the church would match that 3%, which would result in a monthly total contribution of 6%. This allows the contribution to grow as the pastor's compensation grows. Now, even a small amount consistently invested over time can make a huge difference in the financial retirement of your pastor. A sixth option is to cover the employer portion of Social Security payroll tax. By you assuming that, then that frees that money up for the pastor to use what they were paying for that to place that in a retirement account. This can have a significant impact over time. Assuming that a pastor is being paid, say, a very modest income of $1,700 a month in salary, the employer portion of the payroll tax would be approximately $105 each month. Now, contributing just $105 for 25 years, earning 7% interest would result in an $86,000 nest egg. Now, if the pastor matched that $100, that nest egg would grow in the same period of time to $167,000. Wow. Another option is to convert a portion of the housing allowance to salary. Retirement plan contribution calculators are based on taxable income. If the pastor currently receives all of their income as housing allowance, discuss converting a portion of that to a regular salary. This allows the pastor to contribute that portion to the retirement account, and because the contribution is made pre-tax, there will still be no income tax due. An eighth option is to consider gifting towards a financial consultation with a financial planner of your pastor's choice. While a full financial plan prepared by a certified financial planner can be expensive, some may be willing to do a limited consultation on retirement preparedness. Well, this consultation can provide the pastor with a snapshot of their current situation and a plan with options to meet their future retirement goals. The Church Extension Plan has provided this service and helped many pastors remain focused on their retirement plans throughout their entire ministry career. Another option is to consider budgeting for an employer retirement contribution rather than a raise. One way to quickly onboard a retirement benefit is to budget for a monthly retirement contribution rather than giving your pastor a raise. Now, not only will this help the church launch a retirement benefit, but it will also bless your pastor with a pre-tax benefit. It will lower their taxable income and multiply its impact by being compounded over the years. For example, a $50 a month raise given as an employer contribution will add up to $6,000 over 10 years. However, as a retirement contribution, compounded at 7% interest, it will increase the pastor's retirement contribution to $8,700 in the same amount of time. The 10th option is to consider a deferred compensation plan. If the church experiences a windfall gift or perhaps receives a large settlement from the sale of property or a gifting, consider establishing an account for the benefit of the pastor at retirement. This type of account is often called a rabbi trust, and it remains an asset of the church and has certain restrictions built into the plan. The church can bless the pastor with this account when the pastor retires. The pastor can then use the proceeds to fund their retirement future. A deferred compensation plan should be considered with the advice of the church's tax and legal advisors. In Numbers chapter 8, verse 23 through 26, the Lord instructed Moses to include in the Levitical law a way that the entire community of faith could participate in the retirement plan for the Levite priest that ministered to God's people. Well, the Lord could have limited the obligation to carrying this out by giving it to the priest independently. However, by instructing Moses to make this arrangement as part of the nation's Levitical law, God was expecting the entire community of faith to own this obligation. In other words, the entire nation was mandated to become part of the retirement plan for those whom God had called to minister to their spiritual needs. Well, that's why it's important for you to teach your board about how important it is to have a retirement plan and to make a contribution to it. Whether it is in the form of a matching program or even a modest employer contribution, the important thing is that the scriptures show us that the community of faith should be part of the solution. Now, to help you address this matter with your church board, we have produced a wonderful resource that is a short 68-page paperback entitled Stewarding the Future, Church Boards, and Pastoral Retirement. It presents the 10 ways that we've talked about here, but it also has many other suggestions. The book can be ordered on Amazon for only $8. It is also our prayer that your church will join you in planning for your future retirement so that you can retire with peace, freedom, and dignity.